Welcome to Good Morning Keys on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5.
Good morning, Keys. It is Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5. The talk of the Keys Tuesday morning, the 10th of March already. Checking your roadways here. US 1 does have an incident in the Upper Keys for our friends listening on 96.9. Keys Talk hit and run. Unfortunately, 88665 Overseas Highway near Hurricane Boat Lifts Plantation Key. Hit and run being investigated and worked right now. So keep that in mind if you plan to be going through that area. Otherwise, we're looking at beautiful skies, beautiful weather the next few days. We were at 79 degrees earlier this morning already. We're about 80 right now. It's going to top out just a little bit above that. I'm going to say good morning to Emily Schemper. She is the Director of Growth Management for Monroe County. Emily, do I have your title correct?
You do.
Hey,
good
wonderful.
Morning.
Wonderful to have you here. Good morning to you, and thanks for taking the time to be with us. So, I had mentioned it's the 10th of March already. No rain necessarily in the forecast of any significance, which has caused some dry weather and dry conditions. However, the wet time might be coming in terms of hurricanes. That does lead us into flood preparedness, flood awareness, a lot of the things that you work on an ongoing basis to try to mitigate. So let's talk about that. And we're in Flood Awareness Week, I think.
We are. So this week, March 9 through 15, is officially Monroe County Flood Awareness Week. It's a statewide recognized effort by Florida Floodplain Managers Association to try to get people to think ahead about flood risks, flood insurance, make sure they're taking whatever steps they can to protect their homes and families and have a plan in place before the actual hurricane season begins.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's talk about that. Yeah, what are some of the flood preparedness tips that we can give to people that they should be aware of?
Well, obviously you want to take this opportunity to double check that your flood insurance is in place. Mm-hmm. Make sure that premium got paid. I know sometimes I'll see that my mortgage putting together a disaster kit, for example. You'll recall that in most years there's a tax holiday for certain disaster related supplies, things like batteries, portable generators. Last year that actually changed, and I think now all of those are always tax free now year round. Mm-hmm. So you can look into that. There's a list of those available online as well. That's a statewide issue, and it will list the different items that you can get, even things like tarps and stuff that you can have on hand beforehand. So those are some of the things that you can do. And also just being aware, especially now that we have the change to that downstairs enclosure rule and people are going to start enclosing more of their downstairs space for storage. Just remember, it's really just for storage, and the reason for that is because there is still a risk that that area will flood. So just because it's enclosed doesn't mean your most expensive belongings should be kept down there. Make sure it's limited storage, things that, if they possibly get wet, it's not the end of the world. Don't put all your important documents down there, things like that.
Mm-hmm. Emily Schemper, she's Director of Growth Management, Monroe County, on Good Morning Keys. So yes, Monroe County Mayor Michelle Lincoln, Monroe County Board of County Commissioners and Growth Management Director, Director of, that is the right title. Thank you. Recently proclaimed March 9th, 15th as Monroe County Flood Awareness Week, and that's what we're talking about now. There's FEMA flood maps available too, helping people understand what the risk may be to their neighborhood, and that may prompt them to start having discussions with your department about flood mitigation and long-term planning and participation in things like road elevation projects and similar items.
That's correct. I mean, if you're planning to build something on your property, put on an addition, or purchase a new home or even vacant parcel, it's really important that you do that background research before you begin and invest any money in that project. So make sure you know what the flood zone is. Make sure you know how high you would have to elevate things. It will affect your insurance rates as well. So, and that reminds me, actually, at the Board of County Commissioners meeting tomorrow, FIRM, the Fair Insurance Rates for Monroe, that organization is actually giving a presentation about what they've been working on over the last year and what their thoughts are on insurance rates this coming year. So that's something that would be good to tune into as well, and see what they have found out, see what they're thinking for the next year. But yes, it's important to do all that background research. Know if you're buying a property on a street that floods regularly as well. So we have that information now as well. We have the road vulnerability assessment. There's a lot of background research you can do before you start investing in either purchasing property or embarking on a building project.
So the county does ongoing efforts, has ongoing efforts in flood mitigation, and that's a lot of what we talk about in terms of the long-term planning, correct?
Correct. This is true.
Yeah. So let's also pivot just a little bit, canal restoration as well. There's going to be 3 virtual public meetings to provide residents with an update on the county's canal restoration program and the ongoing efforts, speaking of, to improve water quality in the Florida Keys canals. Virtual meeting dates. We can celebrate St. Patrick's Day with at 5:30, the virtual meeting there. Thursday, March 19th at noon, and then Thursday, March 19th again at 5:30 p.m. Talking about the approximately 170 miles of canals created decades ago during the dredge and fill development, and some of those do need our attention now.
Yes, and those are really in Rhonda Haig's resilience office, but there are 3 items on the agenda tomorrow, and those actually have time approximate. They're going to have them earlier in the morning, so 9:45 and 10 o'clock are the time slots for those items. So if you want to hear the updates on, one is actually about the county's community rating system. So I am involved in that, but this is specifically about the watershed master plan that they're working on. And then 2 other items regarding roads and this potential for the municipal services benefit unit, the MSBU option for funding certain types of projects. Those are scheduled for 9:45 and 10 o'clock tomorrow. They're items M1, 2, and 3.
Okay. Yeah, I thought it was somewhat related to bring that up since we're talking about flooding, and then canals do have some impact on flooding as well, and all the mitigation efforts that are intertwined amongst the county departments to try to make sure that we are prepared for any eventuality. Again, Emily Schemper, she's Director of Growth Management for Monroe County. People talk about hurricanes and the hurricane season. Sometimes they get a little bit worked up about the winds that occur, but it really is the flooding and, again, the water damage that is the issue. Flooding can occur over time, or again, a hurricane can certainly exacerbate that very quickly.
Yes, I think that officially flooding is the most common and most costly natural hazard, for damaging homes and property in the country. I think that's the statistic.
Yeah. Yeah. And do you have interactions with the Department of Emergency Management to talk about some of these issues and ways to mitigate short and long-term flood damage, et cetera?
We do. And like you said, this involves lots of different departments across the county. So my departments work with Division of Emergency Management, the Office of Floodplain Management. We work with them mostly on things like codes, regulations, requirements, making sure everything meets the federal requirements for National Flood Insurance Program, and also the state requirements. And now the Florida Building Code has a lot of the flood stuff in it directly as well. So, any changes we try to make to our flood ordinances, we have to get that approved by the state, and they are also checking that it's consistent with the federal rules. We also talk with FEMA regularly at the federal level. They actually are not doing much work at the moment because of the federal shutdown, but we're hoping that will be back online soon. We're actually waiting on getting our community rating system re-verification process. We've submitted our information for that. And we coordinate across many different departments, agencies, federal, state, local, et cetera.
Yeah, and Emily, you mentioned funding a couple of times as well, and FEMA in that. discussion also, there had been some talk about FEMA cutbacks and some concerns about reimbursements, et cetera, in the instance of an emergency. Are we hearing anything more about that? I know FEMA is kind of somewhat quiet currently for the reasons you gave, but are we hearing anything about how funding and how the appetite for funding ongoing is nowadays versus the just a few months ago when Doge was the watchword?
Everything has been kind of quiet recently, so I have not heard much, but we will definitely provide updates as they are disseminated, from both federal and state agencies. But everything's a little bit quiet right now, and it's a lot of focus on the fact that things need to get back up and running in terms of, general office work at FEMA, et cetera.
Yeah, well, it's hard to make plans and to plan for growth management when we're not sure, what the funding availability might be. But again, I know you're always working on eventualities and trying to make sure that we are fully prepared, especially now during Flood Awareness Week. Again, that is happening this very week. We encourage all to learn more about flood risk preparedness resources and assess your own flood insurance. And the legislature on the state level is always looking at flood insurance, and that can have impacts on us as well. So we never quite know what's going to happen there until the legislature has recessed for the year. But you can go to monroecounty-fl.gov/flood. Let me see, .fema.gov, and I'll stop at that. But there's a big, long suffix to it where you can learn more through the county. Also, floridadisaster.org/plan prepare has resources available as well. So, Emily, this is very good information, of course, very timely with us in the midst of Flood Preparedness Week. Is there anything else, though, that we should be mentioning currently?
Just one last important item. If you go on, like you said, the Monroe County-fl.gov website, that's the main county website, go to the emergency management page and you can sign up for Alert Monroe. That is the app that will send you notifications for any sort of emergency management notices about weather and other things. So go on the county website, you can sign up for Alert Monroe, and that's how you can get the current in the moment information.
Okay. Well, we have the meeting tomorrow, is that right, for Board of County Commissioners?
Yes.
Yep.
Tomorrow, Key Largo Murray Nelson Center begins at 9 a.m. Again, those resilience projects are starting at 9:45 approximately, and then FIRM, Fair Insurance Rates for Monroe, is giving a presentation, item N3.
Okay. Well, there will be a lot of discussion tomorrow. We'll be anxious for a follow-up as far as, a recap of what does happen tomorrow. Again, Emily Schemper, she is the Director of Growth Management for Monroe County. On Good Morning Keys, Emily, I know you have a busy day to get to, especially with the meeting tomorrow. If there's nothing else that we should be talking about currently, we will let you continue with your busy day.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being here, Emily, and for keeping us all informed. We appreciate your diligence. Take care. All right, Emily Schemper. She is Director of Growth Management, Monroe County. Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5. The Talk of the Keys. We're going to check your traffic here currently, see what we look like. And we had that incident in the Upper Keys. Looks like it's been cleared already. That hit and run up in Plantation Key area. Looks like that is not going to be a factor anymore. We do have some slowdowns through Tavernier due to construction. Some slowdowns at night happening, Stock Island coming into Key West. Keep that in mind. I believe it's just nighttime construction, though. Should not impact us during the day. Had a great event. Hometown Key West hosting the Call to Candidates. Several dozen candidates who are vying for open seats in a variety of positions throughout the county and municipalities in Key West, and a lot of great and talented speakers and leaders who are stepping up and vying for seats both as incumbents and as challengers as well. We'll be following all of these races very closely on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the Talk of the Keys, all through election season. We'll be talking to a lot of those candidates on the air here, helping you get to know them and their policies and views just a little bit better so that you can make informed decisions and decide for yourself who should continue to be or be new leaders in our community. But I was honored to be in attendance at Hometown Key West through the duration. Met a lot of friends, old and new, there, and enjoyed the camaraderie as well as the education and information that was transferred there. So this is Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the Keys. We'll be returning with more of Good Morning Keys in a moment.
Tree limb striking power lines is a top cause of power outages in the Florida Keys. While Keys has a robust tree trimming program to keep outages to a minimum, with your help, our efforts can go further. If you're planting a new tree, consider how tall the mature tree will be and choose a location where it won't interfere with power lines. Keep your trees trimmed at least 10 feet from all power lines. And if your tree is already growing near power lines, do not attempt to trim it yourself. Instead, submit a request at keysenergy.com and we will trim it for you free of charge. At Keys Energy, we're working to keep us all safe and the lights on.
The IRS has an army, and they want you. You have probably heard that the IRS is hiring 87,000 new employees and is getting $80 billion in additional funding. All this means one thing. They are coming after taxpayers like never before. I'm Miami tax attorney Steve Klitzner, and if you owe taxes or haven't filed your returns, now is the time to get ahead of the situation. You must act before they seize your bank account or show up on your doorstep. You have rights, and it's my job to keep the IRS from taking everything. Call me today for a free consultation with me at 305-682-1118. When we talk, I will give you a plan and tell you the next steps in solving your IRS problems. 305-682-1118. That's 305-682-1118.
Hey, Key West, Danny Hughes here from Two Friends. Really from Two Friends. So Maura and I were sitting at breakfast in the bar, listening to live music at 8:30 a.m. on a Tuesday. She's about to enjoy some huevos rancheros and me shrimp and grits with fried oysters. Heart healthy. And Maura says, Dorothy, we're not in Kansas anymore. It was perfect because we didn't move here because Key West is like a lot of other places. We moved here because it isn't like any other place on earth. So meet your friends or make your friends at Two Friends, 512 Front Street in Old Town Key West, or twofriends.com.
Let's talk trash. I'm Taylor Conrath, and my family's been taking care of your family's trash for years. In fact, we've operated Marathon Garbage Service and kept the Middle Keys clean since my great-grandpa, John Conrath, founded the company in 1950. That's a lot of years talking trash and hauling trash. And these days, we take care of your family's recyclables in addition to commercial and residential waste removal. The Conrath family and our entire team of great employees takes pride in keeping our community clean, from the north end of the 7 Mile Bridge to Craig Key. Now it's my generation of Conraths working together with my grandfather and my dad to continue the tradition and commitment started in 1950 at Marathon Garbage Service. The Conrath family is always there for your family. If you need to talk trash, just call us at 305-743-5165. That's 305-743-5165. Or visit us at 4290 Overseas Highway in Marathon and online at marathongarbageservice.com.
This is Good Morning Keys on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5.
Good morning, Keys. It is Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the Keys. No major incidents to report. However, our producer has informed us and reminded us that there are significant slowdowns going through Marathon. And we'll be speaking with Lynn Landry, council member for Marathon City Council. But the reason for that is the deep injection well construction project going on. So apparently you will have some fairly significant delays going through Marathon. Keep that in mind. But it looks like you are stationary, Nikki, this morning. It's Nikki, the nurse practitioner, with us on Good Morning Keys.
Good morning, Michael.
Good morning. And also we are able to see you because of Keys Living TV. This program runs again on Keys Living TV, channel 27, also on Roku streaming and phone apps at 11 a.m. daily and 5 p.m. as well. So later today, if your fans are not able to hear you this morning, they can see and hear you later today.
Oh, awesome. I sent the last recording to my dad, so he was excited. He got to see it.
Oh, that's cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, hi, Dad. I hope we'll get to see this one, too. Key West Surgical Group Incorporated and Med Spa. Exceptional care close to home, 3134 Northside Drive in Key West. Dr. Rhoda Smith providing that exceptional care for many, many years with all kinds of different level of healthcare, where superior level of healthcare, we'll put it that way. But what I was trying to say is things in any way related to surgical procedures and general health, even. Dr. Rhoda Smith has been taking care of us for years, as is and has Nikki the Nurse Practitioner. So good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good.
We've got a topic: facial serums. Now, also Key West Surgical Group Incorporated and Med Spa, very involved with aesthetics. We've been talking about how to improve your look and improve how you feel about yourself. So, where do face serums play into this discussion?
Well, I said, since we've been talking a lot about all the different treatments we, offer, and we have our open house this Thursday, a lot of people come in and ask me for skincare advice, of course, because it's part of the treatment when you're trying to rejuvenate your skin.
Yes.
So face serums, what are they and the science behind them? And Sephora, I should have found out how much like the gross of Sephora and Ulta are, because the amount of money they make on people in skincare is probably ridiculous, because everybody comes in and they give me their regimen. They have like 10 serums listed of what they do on a daily basis. And they're like, well, which one should I use? So I'm like, you know what? We never talked about this. Let's talk about what serums are good for which condition you might have.
That would be helpful. Yes, indeed. Again, Nikki, the Nurse Practitioner, Key West Surgical Group Incorporated, and Med Spa. Face serums are concentrated skincare treatments
Right.
that deliver active ingredients deeper into the skin. So, yeah, it's
They're
different
a
types.
little bit lighter than a cream, and that allows the ingredients to penetrate more effectively and target specific concerns.
Okay.
So, the skincare team, what is your regimen?
Yeah, all right. It gets involved. Yeah.
First, obviously, you cleanse your skin. If you talk to many estheticians, they'll tell you should do a double cleanse. Always clean your skin twice, usually with an oil cleanser, then with a gentle cleanser. That's usually the recommendation. And for most women, when they wash the hair, they wash the hair twice. So I say clean your skin twice, right? Especially if you wear makeup and you put a lot of sunscreen on.
Okay, I'm getting an education here, but go ahead. Yes.
Then you choose the serum, which we'll get into which serums treat which conditions. You put on a moisturizer, which protects the skin barrier. And then, of course, don't forget sunscreen down here in Florida, where the sun is out every day of the year.
Oh, yes. Yes. And then it can get dried out. You need moisturizer.
That is correct.
Wow, this gets complicated. Okay. All right. Skin conditions that serums can treat. That's part of the team. So let's talk about it.
So many people down here, we've talked about hyperpigmentation. That's when we talk about what our lasers do. RF microneedling can treat. Hyperpigmentation is one of the most common concerns here, again, in Florida. So you want to look for serums like vitamin C, tranexamic acid, niacinamide, and alpha-arbutin. They can help regulate the melanin production, which can be triggered by, heat and constant exposure to the sun. These can help gradually fade the dark spots and the sun damage. And, we always say pigment is pesky. So, but it is treatable. Unfortunately, when we're down here in the sun, I don't want to say it's curable, but we can treat it and lighten those hyperpigmented spots.
Okay. Well, Nikki the Nurse, she's nurse practitioner, that is, Key West Surgical Group Incorporated and Med Spa, and we are talking about face serums in terms of aesthetics. Of course, the experts at Key West Surgical Group Incorporated and Med Spa know all about face serums and aesthetics overall, with very advanced techniques and procedures. But we're talking about the team of skincare that comes together. Aging and wrinkles, then, is also something that gets addressed in all of this.
That is correct. So as we age, our collagen production goes down. I think I mentioned previously, I think over the age of 25, between 25 and 30, you start to lose 10% of your collagen annually.
Yeah.
So, yay. What does this lead to? Things we don't want. Fine lines, wrinkles, thinning skin, loss of firmness, so skin laxity. So anti-aging serums usually include retinol, peptides, antioxidants, and growth factors. So when you're looking at all the bazillion different products out there, when you see anti-aging, it usually will say that it contains all of these ingredients. I just want to make one thing. I want to state one thing about retinol is you need to be careful with it. If you use just straight retinol, like a prescription strength, um, if you use it too much, it can irritate your skin. So a lot of times people will come in and they're overdoing the retinol, and they actually make themselves really red and irritated, and they dry their skin out, and they'll say it burns. So you got to be, when you use retinol, you got to see how your skin reacts to it. And I always tell them to start like every other day or 3 days a week to see how build your skin up to a tolerance to it.
It all speaks to the need for expert and professional advice and consultation, which is what you receive with Key West Surgical Group Incorporated and MedSpa. This isn't something that you just can trial and error your way through. You may have disastrous results. Acne and breakout serums can help also acne-prone skin by reducing oil and inflammation.
Right, because acne is caused by, usually an excess production of oil and inflammation. So the key ingredients you look for when you're treating acne are salicylic acid, azelaic acid, niacinamide, and zinc. They help to unclog the pores and calm down that inflammation. So when you're having an active acne breakout, those are the usual ingredients or treatments that you look for to calm that down.
Okay, Nikki, the nurse practitioner with Key West Surgical Group Incorporated and Med Spa, speaking about medical matters. And they're located 3134 Northside Drive in Key West with exceptional care close to home. To find out more, it's keywestsurgicalgroup.com online. So redness and sensitive skin, you mentioned redness before, but some people struggle with redness or inflammatory conditions like rosacea.
Rosacea.
Yeah.
So down here, because we have chronic exposure to the sun, everybody has red in their skin of all, and I see it in almost all skin tone types. They always have this redness right in their cheek area, and it's kind of like where the sun beats down. And our friend alcohol helps trigger that as well.
Yes.
Makes rosacea worse.
Yep. All right. But there are some barrier repair serums
Yes.
that can
So
help. Yeah.
it's important when you're, looking for skincare products to control redness, inflammatory conditions like rosacea, you find products that contain hyaluronic acid. Ceramides are really big in protecting that skin barrier. Panthenol, which is B5, it's like vitamin B5. So if you see vitamin B5 or the ingredient panthenol, that's helps repair the skin barrier. As well as, this is a big ingredient, this last one, in Korean skincare. Centella asiatica.
Oh,
It's actually derived from a plant in South Korea. So, but they have done a lot of research. It helps repair the skin barrier and calm inflammation.
okay. Well, now we're going to get a little more technical at that as we talked about a number of different serums and part of the skincare team, PDRN. Some people have been hearing about that in skincare lately. What is PDRN?
So PDRN stands for, you ready? Try and say this word.
Good luck.
Polydeoxyribonucleotide. It's purified fragments of DNA that usually comes from salmon or a fish. Trout is another one. It actually helps to stimulate tissue repair and cellular regeneration. So this is a lot of, we use this a lot post-treatment when we do lasers or microneedling, but now you're starting to see it in skincare as well. They're putting, they're advertising a lot of PDRN in products. It's been used for decades to help with wound healing. We didn't use PDRN in clinic for wound healing, but we actually used, oh goodness, we had a graft. It was like a fish skin graft that helped to heal wounds, and it worked very well. So PDRN kind of works the same way. They help repair, tissue repair, and cellular regeneration, just not on the skin level, but on wound level as well.
So it stimulates fibroblasts, apparently, increases collagen synthesis, improves skin elasticity. Yep. Enhance wound healing and reduced inflammation. This is all what can be helped by PDRN.
That is correct. And it's a key component for skin regeneration.
Okay, Key West Surgical Group Incorporated and Med Spa. So skin care and skin revitalization can get pretty technical. That's why you should have your free consultation at Key West Surgical Group Incorporated and Med Spa, 3134 Northside Drive in Key West. You can also call them to find out more, 305-294-1041, or go to keywestsurgicalgroup.com. So why do we use in aesthetic treatments PDRN? It can have very proficient use after some of the other procedures we've talked about.
Well, it enhances the skin healing and tissue regeneration when you use, because we've talked about like last week how we increase collagen production when we do laser or RF microneedling. So does PDRN. So when you combine them together, they're actually working together to improve your skin overall.
Oh, okay. So how about some quick tips then for using the serums we've been talking about?
So once you decide what serums you need or you're going to use, make sure you cleanse first. Before you put the moisturizer on, you can put your serums on. You can even, and it does work, if they're very thin serums, you can put the drops of serum in your moisturizer actually and put it on your face. It still will work. And then of course, always wear a sunscreen. And, give it time, 4 to 8 weeks, to see if you see any results. There are so many different products on the market. So do your research, before you go into Ulta or Sephora and spend $1,000.
Well, and really,
and you can talk to an esthetician or somebody or myself who's kind of been in the field and can steer you in the right direction.
Well, that's what we mentioned before. A free consultation available, 305-294-1041. It can certainly alleviate a lot of additional unneeded expense and aggravation by consulting with medical professionals at Key West Surgical Group Incorporated and Med Spa. And again, you can go online to find out more and to contact them at keywestsurgicalgroup.com, 3134 Northside Drive in Key West. So find out more about all the aesthetics available, the very advanced laser technologies, as well as RF microneedling. Go to the aesthetics tab of keywestsurgicalgroup.com to learn more. I heard open house when you mentioned earlier. Let's mention that.
Oh, yes. So this Thursday, March 12th from 5 to 7, we have an open house. There will be light snacks, refreshments, and I will be demonstrating all of our devices for one big platinum treatment, which we talked about last week. Yes.
Yeah. And people can ask about those treatments, ask about serums, and get actually demonstrations on the lasers as well. So very informative, very helpful for people to just come on in, have some delectable snacks, and learn more about aesthetic care available exclusively at Key West Surgical Group Incorporated and Med Spa.
That is correct. Thank you.
Thursday. Is there a pre-registration necessary?
If they can call an RSVP, because our space is kind of small, so just so we can get a head count and make sure we have enough food and refreshment for everybody.
Yes, indeed. Prosciutto and Prosecco.
Prosecco, that's correct.
Great. All right. Well, we hope to see you there as well. And please say hello to everybody. We will see you very soon.
Okay. Talk to you soon.
Thanks so much for all the information. See ya.
You're welcome. Thank you.
It is Nikki the Nurse Practitioner, Key West Surgical Group Incorporated, and Med Spa, 3134 Northside Drive, Key West. Exceptional care close to home. And phone number 305-294-1041, keywestsurgicalgroup.com. Open house this Thursday, 5 to 7. This is Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the Talk of the Keys. We'll return with more of Good Morning Keys in just a moment.
Life is full of moments, the small ones, the big ones, the once-in-a-week moments, the once-in-a-lifetime moment, the silly moments, the serious moments, the funny moments, and the sweet moments. The moment you've been waiting for. I'm Armando Gonzalez, president and owner of Blue Marlin Jewelry in Isla Mirada and Key West. You choose the moment and we'll make it unforgettable. We have a wonderful selection of quality jewelry you won't find in other stores, hand-selected from artists, including our signature collection, Tacori, Roberto Coin, genuine Natosha coins, and so much more. We'll help you select the right piece of jewelry that will ensure that whenever the occasion, whatever the moment, she'll remember it for years to come. Blue Marlin Jewelry, 81549 Old Highway in Isla Mirada, and now in Key West, 718 Caroline Street. Both locations are open 9:30 to 5:30, Monday through Saturday, 11 to 5 on Sunday. Visit us at bluemarlinjewelry.com.
Key West authentic Irish pub, dining, and rooftop lounge is Celtic Conch Public House, 528 Front Street. The Celtic Conch always features delicious Irish cuisine and tasty pub grub with more than 40 Irish whiskeys, specialty cocktails, and local drafts. Ask about their daily food specials, plus the best in live entertainment. Monday, Milo plays from 5 to 8. Then it's Dean Dunleavy from 8 to 11. Tuesday, it's trivia from 6 to 9, and Corey Hill is live from 6:30 to 9:30. Wednesday features Just George from 8 to 11. Thursday, Milo is back from 4 to 7. Friday, Dean Dunleavy returns from 5 to 8, and then Milo entertains from 8 to 11. Saturday, it's Dave Mittenberg from 5 to 8, and Just George from 8 to 11. Then Sunday, Tony Roberts plays live from 3 to 6. Get ready to celebrate at the big all-day St. Patrick's Day Bash next week at the Celtic Conch Public House, 528 Front Street, Key West. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram. Sláinte.
In the Florida Keys, there's a name people trust for pool construction and remodels. Isla Mirada Pools. For years, residential and commercial property owners from Key Largo to Key West have trusted their team to design, build, remodel, and repair some of the most beautiful pools in the islands. Building a brand new backyard retreat, transforming an aging commercial pool, they bring craftsmanship experience and attention to every detail. They're local, they live here year-round, and they know what it takes to build and renovate pools that stand up to the Keys climate while delivering true luxury and long-term durability. From new construction and remodels to repairs, equipment upgrades, and decorative concrete, every detail matters. Your pool should reflect the quality of your property. Isla Mirada Pools makes that happen. Call 305-852-3133. Visit their showroom at 86701 Overseas Highway, Suite 103 in Isla Mirada, or online at ilamirada.pools.com. Isla Mirada Pools, trusted, local, and built for the Keys.
Good morning, dear. Breakfast almost ready?
In a minute. So did you happen to call someone about spalling repair for the house?
You know what? I knew I forgot something yesterday.
Honey, you know how important spalling repair is, especially here in the Keys. If that spalling damage gets any worse...
Don't worry. I'll call Design Center in Marathon.
When?
Today.
How about now?
Okay, dear. Now.
Design Center, the most efficient spalling contractor in the Keys, providing the fastest results. With over 40 years combined experience in spalling repair and a member of the International Concrete Repair Institute, Design Center can handle the largest jobs to small structures. They also handle quite a number of condominium and county projects. Mention this ad or the program you're listening to and receive 10% off your spalling repair. Visit DesignCenterFL.com or call 305-735-4042. Design Center, 6677 Overseas Highway, Marathon. License number CGC 1523838. Remember, mention this ad or the program you're listening to and receive 10% off your spalling repair from Design Center.
If it's happening in the Keys, you will hear about it here. This is Good Morning Keys on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5.
And Good Morning Keys, Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5. The talk of the Keys. It is happening in the Keys. Lots happening. We talked about some of the traffic happening and the buildups of traffic in Marathon. So we're going to speak about that for just a little bit, but also get a general update from the city of Marathon from City Commissioner. It is Lynn Landry with us, former mayor. Good morning to you, sir. How are you?
Good morning, Michael. How are you this morning?
I'm well. Actually, it's City Council in Marathon, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
yes, it is.
Everybody, all the municipalities are different. I try to keep them all straight. We, of course, had a lot of speakers we heard from down in Key West at hometown Key West. As far as elections go, you just had the election in Marathon, so you're immune from that. Is that right?
Yes. We won't have another election until next year in 26, and there'll be 2 seats available there for next year.
Okay, well, very good. So we won't have to talk about elections for another year, at least in Marathon. So that is good. We do have a meeting coming up tonight. What should we hide? Or is it tonight? What you told me, but which day is the meeting for Marathon here?
Well, tonight at 5:30 in
right.
Council Chambers is the meeting.
Mm-hmm.
It appears to be a very, very long agenda. However, it's really not. It's just going to take some time because of the Department of Commerce and name changes every so often for our land planning agency for the state. Our planner has been Brian Shea going through, and we have a substantial amount of land development regulation changes and ordinance changes that are just changing the name from Department of Commerce to State Land Planning Agency, so that if they ever change their name again, which could possibly happen after next election, we will have it covered. And we won't have to do this again, because last time we did this, they changed their name like a few months after that. So here we are again, just making subtle changes in those ordinances and land development regulations to state that it's a land planning agency.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we do have that meeting at 5:30 today, the City of Marathon at City Hall. And I will just make mention that obviously there's been a lot of news happening out of Marathon with the former city manager, et cetera. We'll have further comments on that, possibly from you and others as that goes along. But for now, it's still a developing story with a lot of moving parts. So we're going to reserve that conversation for some future date. But that is still kind of in the works. So we'll kind of leave it at that, if that's okay with you.
That would be just fine, Michael. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Indeed. I understand there's a lot of sensitivity surrounding that. So nonetheless, though, sensitivity with motorists in Marathon, but it's all in the name of progress. We've got the deep injection well project underway and in progress. So that is affecting some traffic, though. I'm sure that the city officials are aware of it, but it is a necessary move. We talk with Greg Velez all the time about the need to possibly inconvenience people a little bit in order to have forward progress and momentum on needed projects.
Yeah, it's something that's been out. We do have Carlos Garcia, our PIO, who's been putting information out about this particular part of the project. We have undertaken a 9-month project throughout the main part of the city to put the piping in for our infrastructure for the deep well, which we are under a federal court order to have installed by 2028. And we'll be putting the deep well out at Area 6 on Cocoa Plum. But there's going to be, because it's a 9-month project, it's going to affect this season for sure, and hopefully we can get it completed before next season. But constantly in the city of Marathon, these couple of miles right now, DOT, the sheriff, our officials, everybody has been talking about this. There's going to be some delays. If you can rearrange your schedule to plan accordingly, that would be great. I know it's going to impact a lot of our trades and people who have to travel back and forth in town on a regular basis. But we are with FDOT, the sheriff, our people constantly looking at this, trying to make adjustments to it to ease and help the flow of traffic through the city of Marathon. But again, this is a federal court order. We have to get this going. And while we would love to do this and impact outside of season, this particular case, we have no choice. It's a 9-month project.
Okay. Well, yeah, it is necessary. It is mandated, and people will see progress being made over time. Again, it is City Council member Lynn Landry, former mayor of the city of Marathon, on Good Morning Keys. Marathon did, the council voted to increase the vacation rental fees, but not as much as originally had been discussed. So it looked like there was an approval for a $100 increase for registration renewal fees for rentals with 2 or fewer bedrooms, $200 increase for rentals with more than 2 bedrooms. So that is the new fee schedule that people could expect.
Yes, that was a fairly spirited debate that we had on the dais, which we do have those on occasion. And we came to that agreement, but we've also agreed to do a study on vacation rental fees. So they'll be bringing that back hopefully in the near future to mid-range future to do a study on those and the impacts. We just need to agree as a council on exactly what the study is going to encompass to make sure that we do it right and legally, so that we don't put ourselves in the way of a lawsuit, because even if we change the fees and somebody objects to it or sues us, it could tie us back to the vacation rental ordinances. So we want to be very cautious on that. I know our attorney has cautioned us on that over the years. So again, we did a very slight increase just because of costs going up in the city of Marathon, but I think we settled on in a good place with the council and the city.
Well, and again, we're not quite sure where property taxes are going to fall as far as the state goes, and there's even talk about yet a special session beyond the session, maybe still to look at that issue. affecting homesteaded properties and the like. So we're never quite sure where funding is going to end up until the final bell tolls. So we'll be watching that out of Tallahassee as well.
Yeah, it's something that will affect City Marathon if it happens. I know the president of the Senate, Senator Albritton, they're not taking it up during the session, but I did see a press release. He and the governor have been talking. I think that they may actually discuss it in a special session after the normal session up there. So we'll see how that goes. One thing that the City of Marathon, and I've been watching this trend and I did some research on it, we're down to about 15.8% of all homes, residential homes in the City of Marathon that are homesteaded.
Oh my!
That number has been in decline for several years. We've become more of a second home community, and people are homesteading their homes other places. So that's a small number. It was really surprising when I did the research to find out that we are in a decline, and it's been steady decline. I did about the last 5 or 6 years, and we've been steadily declining over that time frame as well. So.
That is an interesting statistic. It's rather surprising when you put it that way. So, wow.
Well, it can have an impact if they go after property taxes for homesteaded properties. It's going to impact the City of Marathon when $11 million comes from ad valorem taxes, which is about 40 to 45% of our actual general fund revenue. Mm-hmm. It's still going to impact us. If it's $2, $3, $4 million, that's a huge impact on I think it's a $25 or $35 million overall general fund budget. So it will still have to figure out ways to accomplish it. But the biggest concern for me is, okay, we want to do away with property taxes. What's the alternative?
Yes.
The municipal government still has to provide essential services, and we're mandated by state law to provide certain services. And, we just need a way to go ahead and continue to fund those and provide the services that we have to in the City of Marathon.
Yeah. Well, reduction in property taxes seems to be a headline trying to grab popularity and attention, but what's the alternative if that actually occurs? So we'll be following that as well. Again, the city council meeting tonight, 5:30, Marathon City Hall. I'm sure there will be developments coming out of that meeting and future developments over the next few months. A lot of work to be done, a lot of changes happening in the City of Marathon, and we'll be continuing to follow those and discuss them when it's appropriate. Is there anything else, though, that we should talk about? Because you've got a busy day to get to, sir.
No, we're just, the Marathon Seafood Festival is coming up this weekend.
Oh, yes.
If you're listening to this radio show, please be patient. I know the traffic and the lane closure in the City Marathon is going to hinder some of that, but be patient. Sheriff Ramsey's going to have patrols out there helping with the traffic situation at the festival, in the festival, and around the City of Marathon. So be patient. We'll get to our destination, and hopefully everybody can show up and support the Marathon Seafood Festival, which is a great event for this city.
It really is. Another terrific showcase of the community park there in the center of Marathon. And of course, thanks to the Greater Marathon Chamber of Commerce, the 50th anniversary of the Greater Marathon Seafood Festival. And yes, we spoke with the sheriff the other day. They do have a very specific plan in place to try to mitigate traffic issues there and make sure that people are safe. That's the number one priority, is making sure that pedestrians and motorists are safe going through that zone. And they will be on the job continuously to make sure that happens. And please come support the Greater Marathon Chamber of Commerce and Hotwire Communications, major sponsor. All helps to benefit scholarships for deserving students in our community of Marathon. So please come out, and we'll hopefully see you there, as typically the case as well there.
Yeah, we'll be there again this year. We have backed away from a little bit of our things that we've done there over the last 21 years, but I will definitely be down there. I'm probably going to help Paul Lebo in the fish fry lobster booth, a good friend of ours. So one of the toughest booths to work in. I've worked it years and years ago, but I'll probably end up going down helping him for a little while just to make sure he has enough help down there.
That's got to be busy, and it's hot in there too, I'm sure.
Oh yes, hot and busy.
Well, we appreciate your dedication to all that you do for our community. As our former mayor of the City of Marathon, continued to serve as our city council. Not an easy time to be in that seat, sir, but we will talk to you again very soon. We appreciate you being here this morning.
Thank you very much, Michael. Appreciate you talking to me, and
yes,
have a great day.
Yes, you do the same. Thank you, sir. It is City Council member Lynn Landry with us, former mayor of the city of Marathon, and again, City Council 5:30 tonight. It is Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the Keys. As Councilman Landry mentioned, no elections coming up this year anyway for the city of Marathon, but there's plenty of other races that we'll be watching. Again, thanks to Hometown Key West for their call to candidates last night at Salute at Higgs Beach. A really wonderful gathering, had some very nice discussions and spent some quality time with some good friends there. And I was honored to be in the presence of so many community leaders and dedicated persons to our community there. So looking forward to following all of those races and giving a platform to all those who are seeking to serve us in public office, whether it's continued service or new to the position. They are all going to be welcomed here and given a platform on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the Keys, to talk directly to potential constituents. Also a reminder that Good Morning Keys is on TV. Your local TV channel, Keys Living TV, is available over the air, channel 27. Just go to most stores have a outside style TV, very affordable. Just plop that up there and point it towards Sugarloaf Key. You've got free television with some very unique and entertaining programming, as well as a lot of local contributions as well, including this program on television, 11 a.m. and 5 p.m. You can also pick up Keys Living TV on Roku streaming and your favorite phone app store, that is. Just download that for free. This is Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the Keys. Got breaking news as soon as it happens, local, state, national news at least every half hour. Weather around the clock, Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the Keys. And we will talk to you tomorrow. Thanks for listening.
Step back in time. Step back into Old Town. Step into Old Town Bakery with fresh baked treats like pastries, cookies, brownies, and fresh breads made every morning. Enjoy hot and cold, delicious ground coffee, always brewing, and handcrafted breakfast and lunch sandwiches made to order on oven fresh breads. And now, Old Town Bakery features spinach mushroom feta quiche and ham and cheese quiche, delectable for breakfast or lunch by the slice. Get a whole quiche pie by ordering in-store with 24 hours advance notice. Enjoy new cream-filled croissants with chocolate or vanilla filling and award-winning fresh baked pies, including their key lime pie, voted the best in the Keys. Pick up their unique Old Town Bakery t-shirts for a friend or yourself and give the gift of deliciousness with a gift card available for purchase in-store. And their catering menu is available to make that next event memorable. Old Town Bakery on the corner of Eaton and Grinnell. Stop in or order online. Old Town Bakery, KeyWest.com.
Hello, I'm Dr. Bruce Boros for Advanced Urgent Care, letting you know we are now making appointments to perform your MRI at our Marathon office. MRIs take about 30 minutes to perform, depending upon the area being scanned. And best of all, AUC will be offering MRI studies at affordable cash prices. Call 305-294-0011, option 7 to learn more. AUC has also created Keys Cares Health Plan to help those who can't afford medical insurance. This plan has a low monthly fee and includes most basic testing for acute illnesses at no extra charge. AUC provides high-quality care at affordable prices. For more information on all our services, visit urgentcarefloridakeys.com. Thank you.
Advanced Urgent Care is the only urgent care in the Keys that is open 7 days a week, including Sundays.
While money doesn't grow on trees, trees can save you money by shading your home from the Florida Keys hot sun. Keys Energy Services will host its 22nd tree giveaway on Saturday, April 18th. Keys customers can receive 2 free native shade trees starting at 8:30 in the morning at Keys Service Building on James Street in Key West or Keys Blimp Road site in Cudjoe Key. Remember, shade from trees can make your home more energy efficient and save you money on your monthly energy bill. Visit keysenergy.com for more information on this and other green programs. At Keys Energy, we're growing greener every day. Here's your chance to join us.
Keys Auto Center, the Keys hometown dealership. Hey folks, Stephen Bender here at Keys Auto Center. It's Chevy and GMC Truck Month. We have the largest inventory of new Silverado and Sierra trucks we've ever had. More selection, more trims, more options than ever before. And every in-stock new Chevy and GMC truck is backed by our local deal match guarantee. So come see the people you know, like, and trust on the Boulevard or at KeysAutoCenter.com. We've got the key.
Your pet is part of your family. They've been with you for years through the ups and downs, never asking for anything other than to be loved. When your pet is in need, they deserve the most competent and compassionate care. Dr. Thomas Householder at Key West Vets and Pets treats every patient and their human family with the utmost compassion, attention, and quality care. Key West Vets and Pets, 1118A White Street in Key West. Call 305-294-0099. Trust your pet care to Key West Vets and Pets.